Tamara and Adelina are throwing a birthday party for a friend. Tamara invited 5 fewer friends than Adelina. Together, they invited 47 guests. How many guests did each girl invite? So the first step to any word problem is to define our variables. And so let's go ahead and let x be the number of guests that Tamara invited. Let y be the number of guests Adelina invited. Alright, so now we have our variables defined. Let's go ahead and look at the situation. Sentence number 1 sets the stage, but tells us no information about our linear equations. Sentence number 2 does. Tamara invited 5 fewer friends than Adelina. So Tamara invited, so I'm going to say x as my first, is equal to 5 fewer friends than Adelina. What does that mean? That means the amount that Adelina invited, y, minus 5, equals y minus 5. The number of guests Tamara invited is equal to the number of guests Adelina invited, minus 5. Let's look at the second sentence. Together, they invited 47 guests. So, the number of guests Tamara invited plus the number of guests Adelina invited is equal to 47. So, x plus y is equal to 47. So, we have our system of equations. And now we can use elimination to solve the two, find what x is equal to, find out what y is equal to, and that's how many guests each girl invited. The x is going to be the number of guests Tamara invited, and y is going to be the guests that Adelina invited. So before we do this, let's go ahead and manipulate this first equation. Right? Let's go ahead and subtract y from both sides of the equal sign. And I did that so that we can now use elimination to get rid of one of the variables. Right? So we have our x and our y on the left side of the equal sign in both equations, and we have our constant on the right side. Alright, great. Now you want to think, do I want to use addition to get rid of a variable, or do I want to use subtraction to eliminate a variable? Well, you can see here we have x and x, positive x and positive x. So if we subtract these two, the x will go away. Now we look at the y. We have positive y and we have negative y. If we add these two, the y's will go away. So we could very easily use addition or subtraction. Let's go ahead and use subtraction in this case. So let's take the first equation and let's subtract the second equation. So I'm going to say x minus y is equal to negative 5. Put a line underneath it, and I am doing subtraction here. So x minus x is 0. Y minus y, we have 2 minuses, so this one becomes positive. Y plus y is going to be 2y is equal to 47 minus a negative 5. We have 2 minuses, so this one becomes positive, and we have 52. Now we're going to divide by the coefficient, and we'll have y is equal to 26. Alright, so that's the number of guests that Adelina invited out of the 47. Now how can we find how many guests that Tamara invited? Well, we're going to take the value we found for y, and we're going to substitute it in right there. We could substitute it in here too, but over here makes our life a bit easier. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll have x is equal to 26 minus 5. We'll combine our like terms, and we'll get x is equal to 21. Now, what does this tell us? That Tamara invited 21 guests, and Adelina invited 26 guests. Let's write our answer out in word form. So, Tamara, 21 guests, and Adelina invited 26 guests. And I will put a box around this.